Hi friends, good day. The continuation of our bank final account, that is financial statement of banking companies. Hi friends, in continuation of final accounts of banking companies or financial statement of banking companies, I'm going to take out two more problems today. One is illustration number 3, which is given in the study material. This problem is about preparing the P&L account. I think we have seen in the last class two problems of final accounts. So we have seen two problems of final accounts, that is P&L account rather. The same thing I have been continuing here. Let us see the problem. From the following information, prepare P&L account of KC Bank for the year ended 31st March 2011. He has given the items. Just I will be the last time I have written with red pen to identify where it goes. Today, just we will have a discussion. You should be able to remember that. Interest on cash credit will go to schedule 13. Am I right? Because it is an income. The cash credit facility given by the bank, on that if you receive interest, it is an income. So is the case of interest on overdraft. That is also been taken to schedule 13. Then we got interest on term loans. Interest on term loans also will go to schedule 13. If you got any adjustments on these things, like these three things, a non-performing party is there, I think there we shall assume only on cash is being received. Otherwise, for other things, we can go by accrual. That is what is the income that has been earned. I think we are having those adjustments. Let us see later on. For the time being, interest on cash credit is schedule 13. Interest on overdraft is schedule 13. Interest on term loan is also schedule 13. And income on investment also schedule 13. Now, interest on balances with RBI, that is also schedule 13. Commission on remittances and transfer, it will go to schedule 14. Then commission on letters on credit, it is income for them now, that also will go to schedule 14. Commission on government business, that also will go to schedule 14. Profit on sale of land and building, that also will go to schedule 14. But we also got loss on exchange transaction. We write same loss on exchange transaction, but we'll be putting it in a negative. Okay, is this clear? Then interest paid on deposits will go to schedule 15. It is an expenditure. Auditors fees and allowances, it will go to schedule 15 or 16. Come on, tell me. Auditor fees and allowances. Auditors fees and allowances will be taken to schedule 16. Am I right? Then directors fees and allowance, that also will go to schedule 16. Advertisement also will go to schedule 16. Okay. Now salaries, allowances and bonus to employees, payment to provident fund, these two also can be taken as these two. Which one? These two can be taken as payment to provision and employees. Which one, tell me? Salaries, allowances and bonus to employees, payment to provident fund will be taken as payment to provision and employees. Okay, right. Next. Next. Printing and stationery. Printing and stationery also will be taken to where? Schedule 16. Am I right? Printing and stationery also will go to schedule 16. Repairs and maintenance also will go to schedule 16. Postage, telegrams and telephones will also go to schedule 16. Is this clear? Now this is simple. Then coming back to the next point. Interest on NPA, non-performing asset, is as follows. On cash credit, I think if you look at it, the first item which we have started with is interest on cash credit. We got some adjustment on this interest on overdraft and then interest on term loans. In these cases, what is to be done is that 820 earned, collected 400. 820 minus collected is how much? 400. That is income not collected because out of 820 out of 1820, we got in the beginning of the problem. Just if you see, interest on cash credit 1820, interest on overdraft 750, then interest on term loans 1540. These three including some non-performing assets also. What is that non-performing assets? In cash credits of 1820, non-performing asset on cash credit is earned is 820. For non-performing assets, you know that we shall only recognize amount collected. That means 820 minus 400, how much has not been collected? 420 has not been collected. So therefore, what is to be done? From 1820, which was given in the beginning of the problem, how much we shall deduct, my dear friends? 420 is to be deducted. Is this clear? So this is what is important point. That is not recognized. If you want, you can note down this someone. 820 minus 400. 420 is not recognized. This 420 is not recognized. This is to be deducted from where? Interest on cash credit of 1820. Same is the case here. What is the amount? Tell me. 450. 450 minus 100. 350 is not recognized. Not recognized means from total interest on overdraft, interest on cash credit, these 420, 350 is to be deducted. Term loans, come on, tell me. Term loans 750 minus 250. 750 minus 250 is how much? 500 is not recognized. Here I am using the word NR. Not recognized. Not recognized means this 420, 350, 500 is to be subtracted. Okay, from where it is to be subtracted, I'll tell you again. From here. From 1820, how much is to be subtracted? 420. From 750, how much is to be subtracted? 350, because that is not recognized. From interest on term loans, how much is to be subtracted? 500, because on non-performing asset, we cannot treat as a income earned. Okay. Next. Is this clear to all of you? Why have subtracted? Tell me. The total, one example I'll tell you first one. 1820 interest on cash credit. I repeat once again. Interest on cash credit of 1820 is including interest earned on non-performing asset. Repeat once again. Interest on cash credit beginning is there 1820. It was given in the beginning 1820. If you want, just I'll write here. 1820. Okay. Then what about the next one? We got 750, 1540. These three values have been given in the beginning. Now this 1820 is including how much? 820 interest on non-performing assets. So this 1820 income given income on interest on cash credit is including how much? 820. So why we can't deduct 820? How much is to be deducted out of 820? How much was collected? 400. How much is to still to be collected? 420. This 420 is not to be recognized because we are a non-performing asset. We shall recognize only on cash credit. That means the total 1820 is including interest earned on cash credit which was considered as NPA. Not total 1820 is NPA. Only 820 is NPA. Out of 820 NPA, how much is collected? 400. That means what is to be not to be recognized? 420. Why? Because on interest on NPA, we need to consider only income that has been collected. What is that has not been collected? 420. Now this 420 is included where? 1820. Therefore, from 1820, how much is to be deducted, my dear friends? 420. Same is the case of the next one. Overdraft 750. How much is to be not to be recognized? 350. So how much is to be taken? 350. And term loans 1540. Out of 1540, how much is to be how much not to be recognized? 500. So how much is to be taken to schedule 13? It is coming to 1540 minus 500. 1040. Is this clear? Right. Next. Classification of non-performing asset. Just I will be giving you time for you to think of it. How much is, what is the percentage? We have seen in the previous problem. Whether you have gone through that problem or not will be known, right? So let us, I'm giving you a few minutes time. Classification of non-performing advances. Standard. Previously we were talking about classification of, that was interest on NPA on cash credit, overdraft, term loans. Now here classification of non-performing assets. Standard assets 3000, substandard 1120, doubtful assets not covered by security 200. I think this is the new point which you are having, right? Doubtful assets covered by secured for 1 year. Loss assets. Come on, think of it. On standard asset, what is the percentage? By this time you might have learned that 0.40%. Substandard 15%. Doubtful assets not covered by security. What is the percentage? Tell me. 100%. Doubtful assets not covered by security. When no security, what is the risk? Is risk 100%. Doubtful assets covered by security for 1 year. You have learned 25%. Loss assets. Loss assets. We have to provide how much? 100%. I would like to remind you in the present scenario which we are seeing, that due to COVID-19, RBI has announced moratorium of repayment of loan. Initially was, I think, was for 3 months. Now it has been extended for 3 more months. It is totally 6 months. Now I think at the time of making that announcement, they said the customers or the people who have taken the loan from the banks, no need to worry about it because we are not considering them as a non-performing assets. So it is not going to affect your credit rating. If your advance given by the bank is being considered as an NPA, tomorrow nobody is going to give you a loan because they'll be having the credit scoring, credit rating, and that rating will be severely affected. So I think in that context, this is important. I think we have learned detail what you might have downloaded that. So on interest on NPA, I have told you it is to be recognized only when it is being collected. Okay, but on performing asset, we told you it is to be collected when it has been earned. So here 1820 cash credit is having 820 of income that has been earned NPA, but that 820 we won't be considering. Only 400 we are considering. That is why how much we have taken 420 has to be deducted from 8820. This I have told you already, right? Similarly, overdraft earners. Now this is about classification of non-performing advances for creating the provision. Is this clear? On standard assets, we are creating a provision of 0.40%. On substandard assets, 5%. Doubtful assets not covered by security, high risk zone. So 100%. Doubtful assets covered by security for 1 year is 20%, 25%. Loss assets is how much? 100%. Okay. Now, about investments also we have done last class. Doubtful assets I have told you how much. I have told you already. 25%. I think there will not be any problem even if I leave it. You got that in the. Okay. Doubtful assets covered by security of for 1 year is 25%. We have seen already. Right. Now coming back to this about bank should not keep more than 25% of investment as held for maturity investment. The market value of its rest is 75% investment. So we shall assume that 75%, last class also we had discussion. We need to create a simple words. I think if you want, you can make a note later on. Held for maturity, held for maturity investment is to be taken as book value. Simple words. I repeat once again. Bank should not keep more than 25% of its investment as held for maturity. It means, like, let me explain this here. See, 2750 held for maturity. If you take calculator, 2750 into 25% is coming to how much? 6875. This will be taken as book value. Next, 2750 we are assuming as high held for trading, which is coming to 2750 into 75% coming to 2062. Okay. Some mistake is there. I think this is also some mistake, calculation mistake. Two seven 50 into 25%, 687.5. This is 2062.5. Now this is to be considered with three zeros has been omitted. 75% of investment market value is how much? 1975. Now this we can calculate depreciation only to the extent of 75%. Is this clear? I repeat once again. Bank should not keep bank should not keep 20 bank should not keep more than 25% of its investment as held for maturity investment. Held for maturity investment, put 20 as per RBI guidelines, 2750 into 25% coming to 687.5, and balance 75% we can assume as held for trading. On that you can calculate the book value of held for trading is 2062.5, whose market value is 1975. That means there is a depreciation to the extent of how much? 2062.50. To take calculated 2062.5 minus 1975. It is coming to how much? 87.5. The book value is 1975. That means what is the depreciation? 87.5 is the depreciation. Is this clear? That 87.5 is the depreciation. That is a reduction in the value. Clear to all of you, my dear friends? So depreciation on current investment. Now if you want to continue here, you can see 87.5. That is 87.5 is depreciation on current investment. Is this clear? So in depreciation on current investment, how much we should show? 87 point. All these things are there in the problem. Okay, my dear friends, I think you all are following this. Clear? Right. I hope you might have gone through the format, all of you. Huh? Bit lengthy. We got this is final accounts is the last part of it. Okay. Okay. Next. Now we need to go for solving of the problem. So we have already seen that. This we come back later on. Let us go for schedule 13. Interest earned. What is interest earned? I have already explained you. Interest on cash credit 1820. Out of which income not to be recognized is 420. It is coming to 400. Interest on overdraft 750 minus 350 coming to 400. Income on investment 840. Interest on term loans is also clear. Income on investment 840. Interest on balances with RBI 150. Total is coming to 3830. Interest on NPA is recognized on cash basis. Hence, excess is reduced. Okay. Schedule 14. Already I have explained you. Commission, exchange, brokerage. Commission on remittances and transfer. Commission on letter of credit. Commission on government business. Profit on sale of land and building. Loss on exchange of transact. It is to be given in brackets. Next, interest expended. Schedule 16. Already I have told you two things. Salaries and provident fund collection will come under payment to provision and employees. 1240 plus 280, 1520. Printing and stationery for 140. Advertisement and publicity 180. Directors fees, allowances and expenses 250. Auditors fees and expenses 120. Postage, telegrams, telephone, etc. 80. Repairs and maintenance coming to 50. Total is 2340. Right. So these things have been cleared. And provision on NPA. With this also we have done. Standard 0.4% I told. Substandard 15%. Doubtful not covered by security 100%. Doubtful covered by security for 1 year 25%. Loss assets 100%. It is coming to 592.5. And depreciation on current investment, I told you, investment 75% is on 75% only you can reduce your you can calculate depreciation. That 2750 25% is held for maturity, that will be taken as cost, and remaining 75% is to be taken as on book value, that is after depreciation. 75% of 2750 2062.5, market value 1975. This I have already explained you. 87.5 is the depreciation. So whatever I have told you, same thing has been given. 25% of total investments are held to maturity. In the case of held to maturity, invest in the valuation is done at cost, and these are not marked to market value generally. Hence, depreciation on investment has been calculated only on other investment which can be either held for trading or available for sale. I have taken example as held for trading, or you can also take it as available for sale. Okay. So I think this is explanation. Now coming back to the problem, and we'll be writing the statement of P&L account, KC Bank, profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2011. Interest and schedule 13, total other income 14, 15 interest and expended, and then other expenses 2340, provision contingents we have calculated profit or loss, and we are getting a negative value. We don't have any previous year profit, and since we don't have any profit, we can't go for appropriations. Appropriation is possible only in case of profit. Okay, right. So we'll move on to one more problem. This problem is about statement of P and profit and loss account you are prepared, and also balance sheet. You can have a quick glance at these things. Okay, my dear friends, shall we start? Okay, I'll do one thing. Share capital. Come on, tell me. Share capital schedule. Schedule 1. Current accounts control. Current accounts control schedule 3. Sir, what is schedule 3, sir? Schedule 3 is deposits. Current account control means you need to make a payment to them. So employee security deposits. We are having, it's nothing but other liabilities and borrowings. Employee secure deposits is other liability on whatever the employee they are, like security, putting security with the bank, maybe depending upon their nature of work, and that amount is to be paid. It will be taken as schedule 5. Okay. Investments in government bonds. Schedule 8, investments. Okay, before I go for, let me quickly go through the format. Schedule 1, capital. Am I right? Schedule 2, reserves and surplus. Schedule 3, deposits. Schedule 4 borrowings. Schedule 5 other liabilities and provisions. Schedule 6 cash and balances with RBI. Schedule 7 balances with bank and money at call and short notice. Schedule 8 investments. Schedule 9 advances. Schedule 10 fixed assets. Schedule 11 other assets. And Schedule 12 is contingent liabilities. Under that, we will be writing bills for collection without any schedule. Let me repeat once again. Schedule 1 capital. Schedule 2 reserves and surplus. Schedule 3 deposits. CRDBO, simple words. CRDBO. CRDBO means C for capital, R for reserves and surplus, D for deposits, B for borrowings, other liabilities and provisions. CRDBO. Remember, CRDBO. And now here again we got CRBIAFO. CRB. So we will do one thing. CRBIAFO. This is for assets. C stands for cash and balances with Reserve Bank of India. We'll do one thing. CRBIAFO. CR means cash and balances with RBA. Then balances with bank and money at call notice, call and short notice 7. Investments 8. Advances 9. Fixed assets 10. Other assets 11. We can say CBI is simple. CBI AF. CBI. C starts with cash and balances with RBI. Cash and balances with RBI. B. Balances with bank and money at call and short notice. I. Investments. CBI. AFO. Advances. Fixed assets. Other assets. Is this clear? Okay. Now, gold bullion. Come on, tell me. Gold bullion will go to where? Investments only. Gold, silver, investments, no? 8. Silver is 8. Okay. I think there's no problem for you if you write it. And one more thing, trial balance has been given, my dear friends. The credit balance can be either liability or income. Debit balance can be either, tell me, asset or expense. Simple. Credit side of trial balance is liability or income. Debit side of trial balance is asset or expense. So far we are having assets, right? Then we are having assets and liabilities. Now, next, constituent liabilities for acceptance and endorsement. This we have all discussed. This comes under contingent liability. Contingent liability, which is schedule 12. Okay. Constituent liabilities and we have also opened one account. I need not tell you much about it. Next, borrowing from banks. Borrowing from banks, schedule 4. Okay. Liability. Building, asset, 10. And you need to calculate depreciation if at all. Furniture, asset, 10. Money at call and short notice, 7. Commission and brokerage, 14. Savings account liability, savings account will come under deposits, schedule 3. Okay. Then next, fixed deposit is also liability, schedule 3. Balances with other banks, I told you CBI, B, balances with other banks, schedule 7. Other investments also comes under investment only. Am I right? Other investment also will come under investment. We can assume as a other investment we got, since we got shares, etc., bonds. So we can assume as a other investment, we can assume as a shares. Let us assume. assume as shares. Okay. Then interest accrued on investment. Interest accrued on investment, we are having other assets. So it is 11. Okay. Next, reserve fund. I think I not tell you about it. Where it goes, my dear friends, reserve fund. Schedule 2. P&L account. This P&L account actually, this P&L account is a opening balance of last year. So therefore, this P&L account is to be taken as balance brought down under P&L account. Is this clear? Previous year balance plus current year balance. From that we shall go for appropriation. That adjustment is to be done. Now bills for collection, I have told you already. Bills for collection will appear as an outside balance sheet item. This will appear after schedule 12. Okay, bills for collection will appear after schedule 12. Then next, that is bill sent for collection. Okay. Next, interest. Interest will go to, come on, tell me, statement of P&L account schedule 13. Loans. Loan is a liability, no? Loan is a liability. So, loan is a liability or debit balance. This debit balance is indicating advances given. Advances will go to schedule 9. Okay. Then, bills discounted. Bills discounted also will be taken to schedule 9. Next, interest, debit balance, expenditure, interest expended, schedule 15. Discount is income, no? Interest oblique discount, schedule 13. Then rents, schedule 14. Audit fees, schedule 16. Depreciation reserve on furniture. This is to be deducted from the furniture cost price. Then after that we have to deduct current year depreciation if it is anything is given. Okay, this is nothing but depreciation reserve. Now salaries, employee provisions, schedule 16. Next, rent rates and taxes also, schedule 16. Next, cash in hand and with Reserve Bank of India. I told you, we start with CBI, no? Schedule. Schedule 6. Miscellaneous income will go to where? Schedule 14. Income, no? Depreciation reserve building, you should know. From the cost, this depreciation deducted. Current year depreciation is also to be deducted. I did not tell you much about it. And this depreciation will be taken as a current year depreciation will be taken as provision and provisions on depreciation. Okay. Then next, directors fees. Directors fees also will be taken to 16. Postage next we are having will be taken to 16. Okay. Next, loss on sale of investment. Loss on sale of investment, you all are aware, it will be taken as a negative. Loss on sale of investment is been taken as a negative, right? Negative where? In schedule 14. Is this clear? Branch adjustment, since it is showing debit balance, it is an asset, it will be taken to schedule 11, the balance sheet. Is this clear? Next, the bank's P&L account for the year ended and balance sheet as of 31st March 2011 are required to be prepared in appropriate form. Further information rupees 1000 available. Rebate on bills discounted to be provided. This rebate on bills discounted is a closing no deduct from where it is to be deducted. Interest on interest earned oblique discount on bills, from that it should be deducted because this is unexpected discount. And then you know that depreciation. Yeah, this is current year depreciation. This current year depreciation is to be taken to, this depreciation is to be deducted from the concerned asset. Also, so is the case of furniture also. Is this clear? Then included in the current account ledger are accounts overdrawn to the extent of 20,000. Okay, 20,000. So what is to be done for this? Include in the current account ledger accounts overdrawn to the extent of 25,000. So current account balance is the liability, overdraft is a asset. So therefore 25,000 is to be added. Is this clear? Therefore 25,000 rupees is to be added. Then transfer to statutory 25% of net profit. I told you generally 25% is not given. It is to be 20% is to be considered. Is this clear, my dear friends? Okay. Okay. Now we have seen that transfer to statutory reserve, I told you already, 25% of net profit for this, net profit for the current year. Net profit for the current year, generally I told you under section 17, we have to transfer only 20% of the net profit. But if it is given 25%, I have told you in the last class also, you write that 20% as per the given in the material. But since 25% has been given, we are going by 25%, right? So I think you got the clarity on this. Now this including the current account ledger, I told you are accounts overdrawn to the extent of 25,000. What are the current account ledger which was given as second item in the problem? That second item, they have already adjusted OD from current account. How can we adjust? Current account is different, OD is different. So to show the actual current account balance, this 25,000, whatever 25 lakhs, I think 25 lakhs is to be added back. Is this clear? This is 2,500 because it is excluding zeros, no 3 zeros. It is 25 lakhs is to be added back. Okay. So you can quickly go through this. I have already written. This is maybe irritating for you to see my writing like this, but I don't have any option of explaining this. So maybe my intention is to just convey to you. I think I am not erasing it. So just you can go through it. Share capital schedule 1, and I am talking about this 970. You should add 2500. Is this clear? Right. Then employee, that is OD has been adjusted. I meant to say. I think you can just go through it now. After going through this, we have to go for just like working notes. We do know. We have to. This is about solution. Actually, they have started. They have started solution when you are preparing P&L account and balance sheet. First, you should start with balance sheet like a company financial statements. Now, what is that we do? We have to go for working notes. I think they have started working notes with schedule 1 capital. I think starting we have seen what is share capital, my dear friends, 19 lakhs. I cannot go back and it's like a waste of time. It's clear. There I have written 19 lakhs, authorized, issued, subscribed, called up, paid up, because we don't have any information of like they said Vaishnavi Bank. It's not, it's other bank. If it is government funding, I think we shall mention that what is the contribution of state government or central government, whatever it may be. Statutory reserve. This is opening balance. And this current year additions during year is nothing but actually that we'll be getting from these additions during the year. We'll be getting statutory reserve from, actually they have to calculate it 25% of current year profit, and this balance in P&L account we are getting from P&L account. And fourth column, appropriation, 25% of current year profit. This one, is this clear? Okay, next. Next we go for schedule 3, demand deposits. Demand deposits, if you look at it, it's 9,95,000. Saving bank deposit, you can see that saving bank deposit, demand deposit 995. How you got 995? That is current account deposits, my dear friends. Demand deposit, they have taken current account. And this current account, how you got, I told you already. OD has been adjusted, no? That OD has been adjusted. So 970, it is 970, no? Yeah, the beginning. 9, okay, from where you got it. OD has been wrongly adjusted from current account balances. That is why it has been done. Okay. Then savings bank deposit. We have already seen the saving bank deposit given in the problem. What is saving bank deposit given in the problem? My dear friends, 1,50,000. Is this clear? Savings bank deposit has been given as 1,50,000. Saving account has been given. Then next, term deposits. 230, this is also given. There I have in the problem. At the time of doing it, we have done it. Current account, control account shows a credit balance of this 9,70,000, 9 crores 70 lakhs actually, or 97 crores. In the additional information, it is mentioned that in the above balance on OD, it's not 25,000 rupees, a typing mistake. 2500 has been given, included. Hence, for presentation of balance sheet entries, 9995,000 to be shown under deposits. OD in current account to be shown as advances along with the credits and terms loan under schedule 9. Is this clear? They are wrongly deducted from that. That is why they have added that. Next, borrowings. Borrowings, schedule 4 about borrowings. Borrowings in India and from other banks. I think nothing has been mentioned. Borrowings in India, there since they have not mentioned anything, we can take as other bank. You can see what is the borrowings given in the it is given in the problem. Borrowings is a credit balance 77,230. It is there in the problem, that has been taken out. Then other liabilities and provision. Other liabilities and provision. Rebate on bills discounted, income received in advance. It has been given as an adjustment. We have learned. The current year rebate on bills discounted is related to which year? Next year. This is nothing but unearned income or unexpired discount. It will appear under other liabilities and provision. I have also told you employee security deposit will be taken as schedule 5. Then cash and balances with RBI. Cash and balances with RBI. I think actually what they have done, cash and balances, they are given as something like, if you quickly scroll this, just you will be knowing it. Actually 750 total has been given. You can see that in the problem they have given as 750. I'll show you. Yeah, 750 this has been given. How much they should show? Show 750. But to explain the format, I think no need to do this in the examination problem. This is just to explain you This is to explain you the format. They have split it into three parts. Cash and balances with Reserve Bank of India with respect to current accounts, with respect to other accounts, with respect to including foreign currency. In the examination, nothing is mentioned. Directly you can take 7 lakh. It has been given. Details are not based on figures given in the question. But total is coming to how much? 750. That 750 they have splitted. Is this clear? This 750, the 750 whatever we are having is not, this is, it is assumption, it is not actual. So this is not actual. Got it, my dear friends? Right. So how much you take? You should take only 7,50,000 actual. To explain you, are you following? Don't confuse yourself. Listen to me carefully. Cash in hand, current account, other account, it is only assumption. All these figures are assumed. Which is correct? The 7,50,000 total is correct. Okay. Details are not based on figures given in the question. But which is correct? The 7,50,000 total is correct. Don't confuse yourself. The 7,50,000 is correct. And this is all are imaginary. Is this clear? This is imaginary. Okay. Next. We'll move on to Schedule 7. Schedule 7 again is about balances with banks, money at call and short notice. So if you look at that, balances with bank and money at call and short notice. What is the schedule? Come on, tell me. Schedule 7. Even if you see this schedule also, balances with other banks has been given as 4 lakhs 63,000. 4 lakhs 63,000. You can see this 46350 has been given. I'll show you. How much has been given? 46350. Similarly, 750 is also actual, that but they have taken assumption. Now here, schedule 7, this is the one item which you are having, and one more schedule 7 item which we are having is 2 lakhs. This is money at call and short notice. Balances with other banks, money at call and short notice. Is this clear? Is this clear? We have learned the format, my dear friends. What is schedule 7? Balances with bank and money at call and short notice. So what they have done, these two values, how they have split it, I'll show you. There again we have the imaginary. Yeah. Here how they have done it, you can see. This 26350, 2 lakhs. That is in current accounts, money at call and short notice. I think in current accounts, in other accounts. I think this they have split it. Which they have split it? That 46350 has been split it into two parts. Is this clear? And we are also having 260, The 260 is money at call and short notice. Actually, this is in current accounts. This is in other accounts. Now these two is also taken as assumption. So assumed. Here also they have assumed to explain the format. But what is actually here in the problem? Balances with other banks. They have given balances with other banks in India. In India, balances with banks and current account, other accounts. How much they have given? 46350. That you have split it like this. And then money at call and short notice, how much has been given? 260. Examination, no need to worry. Simply directly show how much. Balances with bank 463,350 you can show, and 2 lakhs 260 26010 extra I think you have written there. Is this clear? This is what you should show. So totally ultimately it is coming, we need to add, you take the calculator, 46350 plus 46350 plus 26 is coming to 72350, right? Is coming to 72350. You can see in the examination directly you can write, no need to split. This is assumed. Now schedule 8, investment. This is also important. Investments we have seen here. Investments, no assumption directly. Government securities, only other investments we have assumed as a shares. The shares assumed is there, no? The shares assumed. This is nothing but other investments. Is this clear to all of you? This is nothing but other investments. Other investments. Other investments has been assumed as shares. Gold and silver has been given to you. Okay, is this clear? So total is coming to how much? 12 lakhs. Total is coming to 16 lakhs 71,000. That is 16,000, 16 comma 7130. That is 16 crore 71 lakhs 30,000 actually. It is coming to total. Only the shares has been assumed. Otherwise, you can get other investment. Assumption is not required. Now, advances, we got two things only in the problem actually. As far as advances are concerned, we are having two things. What are those two things we are having, my dear friends? Bills discounted. Am I right? Bills purchased and discounted. It has been given 125 given in the problem. Cash credits and overdrafts. Cash credits and overdraft. It is coming to actually 1810 you are having. 1810 plus bills discounted 125. Now, how we got this 35? This 35, I have told you already, OD has been adjusted from. How you got it, my dear friends? Given in the problem 1810 plus 2500, which was deducted from current accounts. No problem, we got that. It has been adjusted from current account. We have seen that included in the current account ledger accounts overdrawn to the extent of 250. This 250 is OD. This was wrongly adjusted from current account. That is why we are adding this one. Is this clear? This OD overdraft. Now bills purchase discount is 125. It is coming to 1960. This is actual, my dear friends. This is actual. Now what they have done to explain you, total of A must be equal to B and C. This bills purchase discounted, cash credits, overdraft, on demand, etc. Is it secured by tangible assets, secured by bank, government securities, unsecured? These all are imaginary. Is nothing but this entire thing has been assumed to show you. Assumed. Is this clear? These three are assumed. It is not given in the problem. Then next one. Advances to priority sectors, advances in India, priority sector, public sector, banks. Here is given details are assumed. This is also assumed. Okay, so which is the real one? Which is the correct one now? We got only the information on A. Okay. See, advances, these are actual. This is correct. This is given in the problem. This OD is adjustment. Is this clear? This is correct. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you got it. I repeat once again. Bills purchase discount given in the problem. Cash credit is given 1810. The 22,500 whatever we are having is OD was wrongly adjusted from current account. There we have added and it is to be taken as an asset. That means we added to current account balance there. Liability increase and overdraft increase by 2500. Okay, right. Now, schedule 10 fixed assets. Premises at cost 642. Depreciation to date. What a depreciation has been given? 50. Now, if you see, what is the value of premises given in the problem we can see. In problem, premises was given as 650. Premises 650 was given. Minus provision for depreciation on premises was given in the problem. This is clear? The depreciation provision on building, that is building, has been given as 8. Six, 5, 0, 0, 0 minus opening provision. Then you are getting book value. This is book value. Book value minus current year depreciation given in the problem. Same is the case of other fixed assets including furniture and fixtures. I think we also got furniture. Furniture, what is that? 5000. And provision for furniture has been given as 200 there. So we are getting book value. This is current year depreciation. You will be able to understand it very quickly. That means 650 is a cost minus accumulated depreciation in the beginning, book value. Current year depreciation. Is this clear? Current year depreciation. Similarly, this is also cost price minus provision for depreciation, book value, current year depreciation will be getting it. Clear to all of you? Right. Then next, Other assets, inter-office adjustment, I have told you, interest accrued. Contingent liabilities, I told you, acceptance, endorsement, other obligations. Now, we have to move on to Schedule 13. Interest slash discount on advances bills. 620, we are having interest on interest. Then we also got some information of discounts, 420. These two are given in the problem. And from that, unexpired discount at the year ending, that means related to that correct, the next year is to be subtracted. Commission, exchange, brokerage, I have told you what they have done, profit on sale of investment, loss on sale of investment. This can be taken separately. But what he has done, actually this cannot be adjusted like this, but he has done it, no problem. 253 you can write here, and 2 lakhs you can put it in brackets, but he has taken a different. Miscellaneous income, rent and other receipts totally has added. We got two things, rent and other receipt. Rent is 6, and we got some other receipt somewhere we got, and that other receipts also, that is miscellaneous income. That miscellaneous income part has been added. Miscellaneous income 39. So from where you got it, I'll tell you how you got this 45. Rent is 6 plus miscellaneous income we are having 39. It is given in the problem. It is coming to, total is coming to 45,000. 4,000, 4,500. Is nothing but 45 lakhs. Okay. Then next, interest expended. Interest on deposits, only one item. Operating expenses. This all PRP that we have learned, no? Add, but he has taken according to his way of doing. He has done it. But PRP add all prio that I have told you. It's your wish. But he went to whatever the information that has been given to the extent he went for. Payment to provisions and for employees, rent, taxes, lighting, depreciation, director fees, auditors fees, postage and telegrams and telephones. Okay. Now, so these are the few things which we have done it. Now we have to move on to the solution part of it. Solution, even though we start with balance sheet, I think we shall prepare with P&L account. Unless you prepare P&L account, you can't. That is why when you are doing the problem, one full page you leave it for balance sheet, writing the format approximately, or full 2 pages you leave it depending upon your writing. I think 1 page is enough actually, a lengthy page. Second page you write P&L account. The 13, 14 is clear to you, we have calculated, and interest expended we have already calculated. Operating expenses has already been calculated here, right? And then net profit for the year. If you deduct the net profit for the year, I told you how you are getting net profit for the year. Total 1 minus total 2. 1098 you can take calculated. 1098 minus 539. How much you are getting? 10 9 minus 539 53900. It's 559. How you got this 559? For you to have a clarity, here I am writing, my dear friends, 10 5. Okay, how you got this 559? And this is profit brought forward. This was given in the trial balance. And then next, we don't have any provisions in contingents, no PBD, no taxation, and there's no provision on NPA, non-performing asset. That is why we don't have anything. Now, then we need to go for last one, appropriations. transferred to statutory. This I have already told you. What is current year profit? Tell me. 559, no? So 55900. 55900. Actually, we are supposed to do it 20%, but they have done 25%. You calculate this. 559 into 25%, coming to 13975. 1 crore 39 lakh 75,000 transferred to statutory reserve. And this balance is carried to balance sheet. How you are getting balance carried to balance sheet? You got the total now here. 62400. 62400 minus 13975, you will be getting 48425. That is balance carried out to balance sheet, will be taken under schedule 2. Is this clear? Now coming back to the balance sheet, we have already done it. Capital 19, reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus we have done already. This I have explained to you already. Reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus here. Additions during the year, balance in P&L account, and total is coming to 22. This addition during the year, I have told you under section 17, I have told you already from where you are getting. This is 25%. No, I have already told you. This is 25% of current year profit. Okay, this is balance in P&L account. This we already got it. So 2024, right? I think this is clear to you. 25% of current year profit we have shown in P&L account now. Good. Now coming back to this, we have to go to this balance sheet liability side now. 1, we have done it. 2 is clear. 3, the total we have done. Borrowings, I have explained. Other liabilities, totally 6186. Then cash and balance with RBI, I told you CBI AFO. This schedules I have already explained you. Other assets. Then contingent liabilities. Bills for collection will be taken under contingent liabilities. Okay. I think this problem is basically remembering the format. And I think you need a bit of practice, my dear friend. This is a comprehensive problem. Why I'm taking up this? Because if you look at the solution, my intention of helping you out by doing the study material problems is that these are examination important models. Am I right? So if I explain these things, I thought it will be useful to you. Right? I think this will give you more clarity. Study material problems, you have to be thorough. Every time, every chapter, either it is group 1 or group 2, I have been insisting you before the examination you should be thorough with the study material. To the extent possible, the models which we have not covered is being covered in the classroom discussion. That I have done it. Now even the video session also, I am trying to select the problems which will be useful. I think you can see a lot of classes I have taken for you to have a clarity. I think it is all about your practice. No need to panic. This is there. The problem is there in the study material. Just for explaining the purpose, I have written with that the paint brush to the extent to have a clarity. I have written that. I think this you can easily go through it. Is this clear to all of you? Now next. In the next class, and we got one more problem, one more model, which actually I need to explain to you, is about uh, the cash reserve and SLR. I think we are having one problem on that. It is first problem. I think if it is time permits you, before you come to the next attending the listening to the or watching to the next class, I think that will give you more clarity to you. Okay. And then one more point I would like to tell you. The depreciation which we got 50 on the building and 5 on furniture was taken under operating expenses. The second effect there we have deducted from the consent asset, and it has been taken under operating expenses. And current account, I think it's clear to you. OD was adjusted from current account credit balance. Current account credit balance is nothing but favorable balance to the customer, but the OD has been adjusted. That is why OD has been taken to advances, and the 2500 has been added to current account balances. I think these two things, and one more about investment. 25% is to be taken at cost price, held to maturity. Balance 75% you compare with the market value, and the difference is taken as a depreciation. Is this clear? The difference is taken as a depreciation. That is why we have deducted that amount from that particular adjustment, and it has been taken is a reduction in the value of asset investment, and that has been adjusted in the investment part, right? I think hope with that we have completed the syllabus. It is to be taken as a market value. I mean to say that has been taken in the as a market value. Okay, so I think three things which you need to address, you need to work out. Right? I think this is a big task. Explaining these things on a screen is a bit difficult. Like when we are working out on the board, will be easy. But anyhow, within the given circumstances, to the best of my ability, I am trying to explain you things, my dear friends. Live discussion is something which is different. I think this is what we can do. It's only practice. You listen to twice or thrice sometimes. Go back and see that. I think only you need to listen to explanation part. I think no need to copy down. It is there in the study material. I hope today's my explanation is useful to you. Okay. God bless you. We'll meet in the next class. Maybe maybe by next class I'm planning to wind up this bank accounts. After that we'll be going for non-banking financing companies. It's a very small chapter. We got a bit of theory on that. And I think calculation of capital adequacy ratio, non-performing asset, the same logic is being continued. It won't take more than 3 classes. So there's a small topic, and the ES scope is again a small topic. I think this bank account is a major one. We practice a lot. Okay. God bless you. Thank you very much.